The second day, the vanity of the world. What doth it profit a man if he gain the whole world, and suffer the loss of his own soul? O great maxim, which has conducted so many souls to heaven, and bestowed so many saints on the church! What doth it profit to gain the whole world, which passes away, and lose the soul which is eternal? The world. And what is this world but outside show, a scene which quickly passes away? The fashion of this world passes away. Death approaches, the curtain falls, the scene closes, and thus all things come to an end. Alas, at the hour of death, how will all worldly things appear to a Christian? Those vases of silver, those heaps of money, that rich and vain furniture, when he must leave them all forever. O Jesus, grant that henceforward my soul may be wholly thine. Grant that I may love no other but thee. I desire to renounce all things before death tears me away from them. St. Teresa says, nothing ought to be considered of consequence which must have end. Let us therefore strive to gain that fortune which will not fail with time. What does it avail a man to be happy for a few days, if anything can be called happiness without God, if he must be unhappy forever? David says that earthly goods, at the hour of death, will seem as a dream to one waking from sleep, as the dream of them that awake. What disappointment does he feel, who, having dreamt that he was a king, on awakening finds himself still lowly and poor as ever? O my God, who knows but that this meditation, which I am now reading, may be the last call for me? Enable me to root out of my heart all earthly affections before I enter into eternity. Grant that I may be sensible of the great wrong that I have done thee by offending thee, and by forsaking thee for the love of creatures. Father, I am not worthy to be called thy son. I am grieved for having turned my back upon thee. Do not reject me, now that I return to thee. No posts of honor, no pomps, no riches, no amusements, no punctilios will console a Christian at the hour of death. The love of Jesus Christ and the little that he has suffered for his love will alone console him. Philip II, while dying, said, "Oh, that I had been a lay brother in some monastery and not a king." Philip III said, "Oh, that I had lived in a desert, for now I shall appear but with little confidence before the tribunal of God." Thus at the hour of death do those express themselves who have been esteemed and most fortunate in this world. In short, all earthly goods acquired during life, at the hour of death, generally end in remorse of conscience and fears of eternal damnation. O God, will the dying sinner say, "I have had sufficient light to direct me to withdraw myself from the world, but yet I have followed the world and the maxims of the world, and now what sentence will be pronounced upon me?" He will say, "Fool that I've been, I might have been a saint, with the means and advantages that I enjoyed. I might have led a happy life in union with God, and now what do I find from my past life?" But when will he say this? When the scene is about to close, and himself about to enter into eternity, at that moment on which will depend his happiness or misery forever. O Lord, have pity on me. For the past I have not been so wise as to love thee. From this day forward thou alone shalt be my only good, my God and my all. Thou alone deservest all my love, and thee only will I love. Ye great ones of the world, who are now tormented in the flames of hell, what remains of your honors and riches? They answer, weeping, Nothing, nothing. We have nothing but torments and despair. All is past but our punishment, which will never end. They will say, What hath pride profited us? Or what advantage hath the boasting of riches brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow. Alas, the remembrance of the good things which we have enjoyed in this world will not at the hour of death inspire us with confidence, but will fill us with terror and confusion. Woe to me! How many years have I been in the world, and what have I hitherto done for God? O Lord, have pity on me, and cast me not away from thy face. The time of death is the time of truth. Then do all worldly things appear as they really are, vanity, smoke, and dust. O my God, how frequently I have exchanged thee for nothing. I should not dare to hope for pardon, were it not that thou hast died in order to pardon me. Now will I love thee above all things, and will esteem thy grace of greater value than all the kingdoms of the earth. Death is compared by St. Paul to a thief, because it robs us of all things, possession, beauty, dignity, parents, even our own flesh. The day of death is called also the day of destruction. Then shall we lose all that we have ever acquired, and all that we can hope for from this world. O my Jesus, I am not concerned about the loss of earthly goods, but only lest I should lose thee, the infinite good. We extol the saints who, for the love of Jesus Christ, despise the goods of this earth, and do we continue to be attached to them at the imminent danger of our salvation? We have a great esteem for the advantages of this life, and why do we make so little account of the advantages of eternity? Enlighten me, O my God, and make me sensible that all creatures are nothing, and that thou art my all, the infinite good. Grant that I may leave all things to gain only thee. My God, thee only do I desire, and besides thee, nothing. St. Teresa says that all our faults and attachments to the goods of this earth arise from a want of faith. Let us then reanimate our faith that we shall one day have to leave all and go into eternity. And hence, let us leave all now, while we can obtain merit by so doing, which we shall one day be forced to leave. What are riches, honors, parents? God, let us seek only God, and God will be our all. That eminent servant of God, Sister Marguerite of St. Anne, daughter of the Emperor Rudolph II, and a discalced nun, said, What will kingdoms avail at the hour of God, at the hour of death? The death of the Empress Isabella induced St. Francis Borgia to renounce the world, and to give himself entirely to God. At the sight of her corpse he said, It is thus then that the grandeurs and the crowns of this world terminate. O my God, thou hast always loved me. Grant that I may become wholly thine before death overtakes me. O the great secret of death, how does it destroy all worldly desires? How does it expose all worldly grandeur as smoke and deceit? Things the most desired of this earth lose all their splendor when beheld from the bed of death. The shadow of death obscures the beauty of all things here below. Of what avail are riches when nothing remains but a winding sheet? Of what avail is bodily beauty when all is reduced to a heap of worms? Of what avail is authority when nothing remains but to be thrown into the grave and to be forgotten by all? St. Chrysostom says, "Go to a sepulchre, contemplate dust and worms, and sigh. Look on the graves of the dead. See those skeletons gnawed by worms and crumbling into dust, and say with a sigh, such must I become. And why do I not think of this? Why do I not give myself to God?" Alas, who knows but that the sentiments which I am now reading may be the last call for me. My dear Redeemer, I accept of my death, and I accept of it whatever way it please thee to send it to me. But I beseech thee, before thou judgest me, to allow me time to bewail the offenses which I have committed against thee. I love thee, O my Jesus, and I am truly sorry for having despised thee. O God, how many miserable beings, to obtain worldly things, pleasures, or vanities, have lost their souls, and by losing their souls have lost all. Do we believe or not believe that we must die, and that only once? And why do we not leave all to secure a happy death? Let us leave all to secure all. Is it possible to know that the remembrance of a disorderly life will, at the hour of death, be an insufferable torment, and will continue to live on in sin? O my God, I thank thee for the light which thou affordest me. But, O Lord, what have I done? Have I multiplied my sins, and hast thou augmented thy graces? Woe to me if I do not avail myself of them. He who reflects that in a short time he must leave the world will not be attached to it. Oh, with that peace of soul do these live and die who, despoiled of all things, are contented to say, my God and my all. Solomon said that all the goods of this earth are only vanity and affliction of spirit, since the more anyone possess of them, the more he suffers. St. Philip Neri called those fools whose hearts are attached to this world. Fools because even here they lead miserable lives. O my God, what now remains of the many offenses of which I have been guilty, but the pain and remorse which now torment me, and will torment me still more at the hour of death? O do thou make haste to pardon me. Thou desirest that I should be all thine, and such do I desire to be. Behold, from this moment I give myself to thee, and I desire nothing in return but thyself. Let us not imagine that to be detached from all, in order to love only God, is to live a disconsolate life. Who on this earth is so contented and happy as the man that loves Jesus Christ with his whole heart? Find me one amongst all the kings of the world who is more happy than the soul that gives itself wholly to God. My soul, if now thou wert to depart out of this world, wouldst thou die satisfied with thy past life? And for what dost thou delay? That the light which God in his mercy now affords thee may serve to reproach thee at the great accounting day. O Jesus, I renounce all to give myself to thee. Thou didst seek me when I fled from thee, and now that I seek thee, do not reject me. Thou didst love me when I did not love thee, nor even desire that thou shouldst love me. And now that I have no other desire but to love thee, and to be loved by thee, cast me not away from thy face. O my God, I am now convinced that thou desirest to save me, and I desire to work out my salvation to please thee. I leave all, and give my whole self to thee. Mary, Mother of God, pray to Jesus for me.